Yeah. Here we go.
Today I'm here with Appalachian artist Ency. We're going to be talking about Nurtured Nature, a book that they just released. And do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and what inspired you to write a book?
I've just always been interested in animals more so and art, and that kind of came together with this book. I grew up rescuing and rehabilitating wildlife with my family. My mom used to be an animal control officer, so a big part about my life growing up and even now is just encouraging people to preserve nature and to protect wildlife, and a lot of my art had been about that. So it just kind of came around to come to a book. It started with my art show, Appalachian Aesop, where it combined 6 illustrations that were pretty large scale, like I think 2.5 feet by 3 feet, and they're all ink illustrations, but they were combined with stories like Appalachian Aesop, or the old classic Aesop fables like the frog and the scorpion, the mouse and the toad. And from that, I decided to just start writing my own stories, and eventually came along the book. It was about a 5-year process, I suppose, to think of all the stories and then actually put it to paper.
Wow. You answered a lot of questions there all in one.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm curious, so what advice would you have for other authors or artists that wish to be authors?
Really, just do it, honestly. Like, it's one of those things that I believe after doing it that anybody could do it, really. You just have to press yourself to do it. You just got to keep doing it. Like, every day you got to kind of chip away at it and do a little bit, like do a few illustrations for it, or at least 1,000 words maybe. Like, instead of doing fun stuff, maybe work on your projects a little bit and then do fun stuff. But just got to do it, really. Just got to hold yourself to the fire. But anybody could do it.
Yeah, that seems to be a thing for the creatives, is you have to find a balance between the work and the play, because you want the art to be fun, but you also seem to have big dreams. Most artists I know have these big goals to write a book or to release some big work of gallery display and stuff like that. So with your book here, is there anything that came up that was most challenging for you?
Mainly just is like we were talking about earlier, formatting was terrible, but that's about it. Like, there was some really interesting and fun parts. Like, there's a lot of information and that's like ecological and biological about animals and nature in it. And it's actually called Bubbo's Notes throughout the book. But I went to like parks and natural life, wildlife refuges, aviaries, and kind of just gathered some information about animals around the area and just kind of put it in the book. So that was a fun part, but it was also hard. A lot of detective, like going to random people in the state parks and asking them questions and bothering them for a while, but it was fun.
Beautiful. So if people were interested in purchasing your book, how do they support you and your work?
I have my own website, which is melancholymountain.com, and you could find it on Amazon if you just search it. And also there's the Hatter's Bookstore on Mercer Street, and also I sell art at the Riff Raff as well. So all of those are pretty good things.
Cool. Is there anything else that is going on in your creative world or people you want to give shout outs to that?
I guess we're doing the mural at the Wade Center. Me and Chris Dehart, who's a wonderful man and a wonderful artist. He is currently running the Korea company, but me and him's been working on a large-scale mural throughout the whole Wade Center of Noah's Ark, and I look forward to that being done. Mainly, like, shout out to Dehart and the Wade Center. The Wade Center is an amazing foundation in place. We'll hopefully be doing some readings here next week with my book. So
Beautiful. If there was one part that you really wanted to share with those watching, is there an excerpt or a quote or anything that really sticks out to you that you feel called to share?
I don't know. I would probably talk about like just a give example of a story so people kind of understand it more. For instance, like the book it's fictitious. It's all stories I made up in my own little world, but the background of it is supposed to teach the reader about nature and the animals that live in it. So even if it's a fictitious story, it has a backing of a lesson that everybody should kind of know, I believe. Like one that we come across a lot is seeing a turtle cross the road. And I covered that in that book because we all see it. We all want to help, but we all don't necessarily totally know what to do. Mm-hmm. I didn't. I remember I saw a turtle one time and I got it and I thought to take it to Pipe Stem because Pipe Stem's a safe place, it'd be free. But in reality, that's totally wrong. Like turtles have a 1 mile radius of their home and they kind of map it out. And if you take them outside of that, they'll just spend like the rest of their lives trying to get back to their home. So the best thing to do is if you see a turtle cross the road is just help it to the other side. So in one of the stories, Mapping the Mountains, it kind of goes through a turtle that was misplaced from his home and he's just spending the whole story trying to get back. So it kind of helps illustrate the journey and how hard it would be a turtle if you accidentally did that. But it's a good way to reinforce like what you should do if you come across a turtle on the road.
Yeah.
Especially as kids. It's a kid's book, so it's a fun way to kind of teach kids about animals and all that stuff. I think it's got a lot of information in it that I didn't even know, and it was fun to kind of delve into all that.
Beautiful. So you mentioned a little bit about the medium that you used to create the illustrations. Do you want to touch a little bit on what inspired you to move towards that sort of illustration style?
Really just comics, honestly. It was like when I was growing up, I wanted to be more of a cartoonist, and I went to college and delved more into fine art like ceramics and sculpture and painting, and I liked it, but it was just never totally me. And I feel like once I got back on my own, I went back to just drawing, and it worked out for me. But my main inspirations from that is probably like Jonah Bezquez, who made Invader Zim, or like Gris Grimley, even Matt Groening, who made The Simpsons, and stuff like that. Really, cartoons are my main emphasis for this, but kind of the darker side, I guess. That's why it looks kind of ominous at times, I suppose.
It might look ominous, but it has a positive meaning, an inspiring meaning.
They're happy little critters.
I think that's an important message is that, again, don't judge a book by its cover. You don't know what's inside until you read it.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right. Well, I think we shared a good bit. One more time, and I know you may have shared it, but just in case, what is your website and how can people find you?
It's melancholymountain.com, and it's just all one word and no abbreviation like MTN. It's just melancholymountain.com.
And do you have any other social medias that people could maybe follow you and stay up to date with any future projects?
Yeah, I post some on Instagram, and it's just Ency_art. I'm a recluse at times, but I try to keep posting every now and then.
And can you spell Ency for people?
Yeah, it's just ENCY.
All right, beautiful. Well, go check out Ency, support their future projects, check out their book, and stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.